Hello, this is PalicoPadge and welcome to another episode of Talking and Trucking. It's something which I like to throw together, just have a little bit of a catch up with you guys, let you know what's going on in my life and how it might affect the channel going forward. And being Christmas, I figured now is a good time, more than ever, to sit down with a quick run through on a trucking job and just tell you how things are cracking on my end. So first things first, a very merry Christmas to you. It's always something which I'm not sure on whether you should be saying these days. Happy holidays, if I'm going to be generic about it, but no, Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you're all looking forward to the break, however that might entail. As someone who, in my own job, usually I wouldn't be allowed to have the break in between without booking it as holiday. Because of the situation I'm in this year, it does mean that I am looking forward to a prolonged period of time off, which is nice. So hopefully you guys yourself will be able to enjoy at least a few days of just chilling out and doing whatever you want to do and not being on the payroll. So yes, very Merry Christmas to you. Hope you have a good one. So yeah, just a quick catch up to tell you what's going on my end and how things are going. Now we'll start with going through the games. So as it stands right now, we're currently playing through Dredge and Beat Cop. Both I am enjoying incredibly, both with different types of gameplay loops and intrinsic stories associated with them. Dredge, very much enjoying. We are getting through it quite quickly, which is nice. There's no real lulls. I was worried when it came to Dredge that there would be periods of just having to fish and farm materials, but it does seem to flow very naturally. It does seem to have enough busy work to do without having to go too far off the beaten track in regards to the storyline, which is nice. So I am enjoying that. I am a few episodes ahead at the moment. I've had some time recently to be able to record to make it so I've got stuff going on beyond Christmas, and as to why I'll tell you momentarily. But yeah, that is flowing nicely, so no real worries there. In regards to Beat Cop, bit of an interesting one. It is a lot edgier than I expected it to be. It is very much a take on 80s action movies and mindsets, I suppose, is the best way of saying it. There's a lot of words which I don't usually like to use on the channel, which I try and breeze over if I can. There are some words which I just will outright not say because of YouTube, and again, there's a smack on the hand from them. But again, it's a flowing story. Although there is a gameplay loop there of a monotonous routine, it is intersected by different things going on throughout the day and having to manage your time. It's one thing which I've grown to accept. I wouldn't say appreciate, but definitely accept. With games like this, they put the pressure on you for you to have to make decisive decisions, whether they're good decisions or bad decisions. You generally find out pretty quickly, but decisions nonetheless. It's not something where you can accommodate for everyone all the time. Yeah, you have to sort of put your foot down and say, right, I'm going down this route, I'm going down that route. And I like that. I like the pressure it puts on you. It also gives you that replayability if you want to obviously go through it and make a note of the decisions you make so you don't make them again, because there are an awful lot of decisions you have to make. But no, ultimately the story is still flowing nicely and on a daily basis or episodical basis on this perspective. So again, there's no laws going on like we went through with Guild of Dungeoneering and to a certain extent with Curious Expedition 2 towards the end of the playthrough. So they're nice. Now I am aware that from a channel perspective I am in a bit of a lull at the moment. It is just Dredge and Beat Cop, and it was something which I said in my previous Padge plays I didn't want to get sucked back into, but due to circumstances out of my control, especially when it comes to work and a little bit from a family perspective, it's something which it's just been easier to just concentrate on those two without putting anything else out there. Now that does in itself mean that after doing this for almost, well, I think it's pretty much 10 years now with the occasional break in it, I'm not growing as I would like. But to be honest with you, right now the YouTube channel is just a passive hobby which I'm doing on the side just to give myself something to do. Some people play guitars, some people play golf. I like to make YouTube videos of games. It also makes me sit down and focus on a game which I probably wouldn't normally be able to play if I was just going through my normal routine, because I dedicate time to do that. So it also helps me with my backlog of Steam and of Epic games as they keep growing and growing, as I give free games away every week, and as we're entering the Christmas period daily. So that's quite nice as well. And as I said, I think I'm going down the route with this channel of looking at more story-driven games, or with interesting mechanics, or games you just generally wouldn't play. So they're not going to be big AAA games, just something with a bit more of an interesting sort of slant to it. Because that's the one nice thing about PC gaming. It's not all generic first-person shooters or platformers. You know, there is a breadth of games out there which are interesting. I wouldn't say they challenge you, but they definitely have a much broader reach compared to your sorts of standard console games, which is very nice. Although saying that, a lot of them are being brought out to the console if they are applicable. In other words, not heavily keyboard based, and a lot of it is mouse based, which is nice. So generally speaking, I'm enjoying that as it stands right now, although as I said before, and it'll probably be this way until the kids get bigger, it's something which is going to be sort of on the side as opposed to something I can proactively work with. And if I grow naturally in that time, great, but it's not the forefront of why I do this channel. It is purely for the pleasure. So with that being stated, just a quick update on my personal life. So as of the recording of this, it is the 21st of December. It is the shortest day of the year in the UK. It's, well, I say it's very dark. It's actually quite sunny at the moment, which is nice. We've got a bit of a storm coming through at the moment. I've had to put my wreath on the inside and secure down my LED Christmas tree outside. We're a bit funky when it comes to our Christmas stuff. We do like getting it as festive as possible in the Padge household, but I've had to secure those down because last time we got blew over, which I wasn't too impressed with, but hey ho, can't control these things, so never mind. But with that being stated, there has been a few things which are going on, which is going to affect my immediate personal time which will be available, and the first one is the upcoming birth of my son. He's not here yet. My partner has just reached 38 weeks and she is done with pregnancy. She's told me several times throughout every day she's ready for him to drop, but it's a case of all of the milestones we were waiting to get past before saying, oh, it's our turn next, has now been reached. So that includes my sister having a little baby girl, which happened back in October. It happens to be my partner's boss's birth of a child. I think it was 2 days ago now, and also the girl who my partner knew from a previous job, who was due a week before us. She actually gave birth yesterday as well, so it's imminent now. It could happen any time. They do say with the second baby that you do have them earlier, you don't go full term. However, he does seem firmly planted in there. I think he's a bit like me. He realises the type of world he's coming out to, and he's going to delay it as much as possible. Can't fault him for that. It's a mean world out there, but by the by, it's something which eventually he will be around to have to experience for himself. But as we approach Christmas, we're now looking at thinking he'll hopefully come before Christmas to hopefully being able to be pushed past Christmas. I mean, from a personal perspective, we are pretty busy up till Boxing Day, but after that, we're pretty free. We don't really do New Year's. We'll just get like a Chinese in at home and watch the fireworks on TV, and that's about it. We've never been big party people, so that's not going to be a big thing for us. So anytime after the 27th, he's very much welcome. I mean, the problem with any birthday around this time of year is it obviously gets enveloped into the whole Christmas thing, and I'd really hate for that to happen to him, because you don't really get that time to yourself, as it were, which will be a shame. Obviously, ultimately, it's our fault because of when he was conceived. But just after Christmas will be best, because everyone's had the Christmas time, and then he can have his birthday and it not be too much interfering with everything else. New Year's, as I said, generally isn't a super big thing. It's just one day, isn't it? So if he was born 27th, 28th, 29th, I don't think it'd be a bad thing. But we don't know. My partner's body is doing unusual things outside of the norm of the past few months, so it could happen in 5 minutes' time. We just don't know, and that's the beauty of childbirth, everybody. It's a bit of a waiting game at this point. Also today, as I said, as of the 21st of December, I'm actually attending my stepfather's funeral today, who died back at the start of December. He'd been ill for a while. It is my mum's husband, who did actually bring me up, so I'm just going along to support my sister, who is her biological father. And with that being done, I know in the last episode I said with my nan passing in my last video that that was sort of the last sort of link to my youth. Ultimately, it was my stepfather who's my last link to youth. But ultimately, this today isn't about me. It's about supporting my sister. She has lost both her biological mom and dad in the last 2.5 years, and she's 5 years younger than me. So it's a very young age to be losing parents and not having that connection. So yeah, I'm sort of trying to play supporting brother today and seeing that through. But ultimately, once that's done, we are all on the countdown to Christmas, and it's something which we did want to push through before Christmas, just so it wasn't hanging over everyone over the festivities, which is you know, a good way of going about it, I think. Especially as she's got a newborn as well. She doesn't want it to be marred by the fact that she's going to have to bury her dad just after Christmas, you know. So that was the reasoning behind all that. So that being stated, obviously a lot going on in my life at the moment, which leads on to next year. So as of January the 1st, regardless of when the baby is born, as of January the 1st, I'm on paternity leave. And I'm in a very privileged position with my company where they allow me to have 4 months paternity. So a third of the year, I'm not working, which is absolutely crazy. My partner is very jealous. She actually only gets 6 weeks, which is the basic maternity, but we have wrangled it so she's going to be having 3 months off, and we're going to take the hit on the wage, just so we've got that quality family time together. Now, if you're unaware, my first son came under very unusual circumstances. The short fall of it is that didn't know about him until 6 hours before he was born. There is a video on the channel, if I remember. I'll put a link into it so you can see that and find out about that story. So it's something which we wanted to sort of sit back and actively enjoy, because we're not having to think, oh god, what do we have to get next? Like before, we only had 3-door cars. We had to upgrade our car. We had to get cots, equipment. As he grew up, we had to get bouncers and stuff, things you generally think about before the birth, which we didn't have the opportunity to do last time around. So it's going to be hopefully a lot more chill this time around, so we're just looking forward to enjoy that time off as a family. With that being stated, though, it does mean that I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands over the next 4 months, and I am planning on doing a lot of bulk recording to be able to put out at some point more than 2 episodes a week. So I'll be going back to my old routine of 2 series running, as they have been throughout this year, and then a Padge plays towards the end of the week. So days might swap about a bit. It might be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and rather than Monday, Thursday. But we'll look into that and sort that out accordingly once that gets recording. As I said, I'd like to get to the point of having a lot more variety on the channel, just to keep you guys happy and interested in the channel. And it's something which I think in turn will allow me, because I'll have that bulk recording done, it will allow me to sort of branch out into other things. Now, with that being stated, there are 2 things which I will be bringing to the channel fairly soon, which one has been on the cards for a while. The other, I've had the footage for a while, but just haven't got around to editing it. So the first one is the parody video for Curious Expedition 2. I did one for Curious Expedition, it went down very well, and it's something which I've had the lyrics down, and I've chosen the song, and it's all ready to go. I just need to record it and then to edit it. But again, I've just got no time to do that. So within the next 4 months, I am planning on putting that out there, and that will sort of be the bookend to my playthrough with Curious Expedition 2, and I can officially put that to bed. So looking forward to getting that done. And also back in October, and again, just to put a bit of content to this, over the last 3, 4, 5 months, I'd say, in the knowledge that we will be having a little baby boy on the scene at some point, and we won't be able to be as active with our 5-year-old as we have been in the past. There were several things which we wanted to do with him as a threesome, which wouldn't be out of the question to be able to do after the second one turns up, but would definitely be a lot more difficult. So the likes of going to Dublin, going on holiday abroad. We've been to Alton Towers for their Scarefest, which is like a theme park in the UK for the Halloween section. We've taken him to Blackpool. We've done Skegness. We've done a whole load with him. We've been up and seen my sister with a newborn as well. There's a lot of things we wanted to tick off with Jacob, which, as I said, isn't completely off the cards with a little one. It just becomes a lot more difficult to do, and we wanted to be able to sort of concentrate on him doing it. So it's been a very busy few months for us as well. On weekends, we've just been filling them all up. So With that all being stated, it's a case of things generally in the new year slowing down for us at home, which, as I said, will allow me more time to be able to do what we've been wanting to do channel-wise for the past few months. Yeah, that's about it, really. I mean, as I said, a lot going on. Looking forward to a quieter time generally. He doesn't watch my videos, thankfully, but my son's getting his first laptop for Christmas, so we're going to be playing Minecraft a bit. Don't know, might be a series in that at some point, father and son. I mean, a lot. It's been done to death, hasn't it? But hey ho, more content. It'd be interesting to see him play that as he gets a bit more savvy with using a mouse and keyboard. He plays on the Xbox quite a bit. Likes playing FIFA and Rocket League and Peppa Pig, actually. Big fan of Peppa Pig. Oh, and Lego. Police Lego, we call it. It's the undercover one, which is like a kid-centric GTA, isn't it? Yeah, looking forward to getting him a bit more savvy on the old computer. And, yeah, we'll see where that leads. But for now, I wish you all a very happy festive period, whatever the festivity might be that you're indulging yourself in. And no doubt there will be updates throughout the year anyway. Just look out for new videos. They will be posted. They will be put out there. And yeah, have a fantastic one. And Happy New Year too. Take care now. Bye-bye.